Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. Today is going to be a very interesting video because I'm going to take this video very casual and also very realistic. I'm also going to try to edit this video less compared to my other videos, so that way you guys will get to see how I talk in real life without like having too much editing on the video, and also really try to share my opinions. So less editing, casual, and also a bit more realistic. So today we are going to be talking about, well, I'm going to be talking about living the truth about living with a chef husband or marrying a chef husband. So because some of the facts can be a little bit interesting for some of you guys out there, just in case if you guys are interested. So I have to mention, because I have a little notebook here, like I wrote a couple of facts that came to my mind, so that way I don't forget as I'm talking. So I may just look down and then look at my notes, just in case. So marrying a chef husband pretty much means you do marry food. You do marry cooking. That is crazy. So when I say that, I really mean that just cooking in general, like the knowledge about it, just the experience of it, because you will get to experience a lot of beautiful food experiences, just because how they just love experimenting and just going out to have a dinner somewhere special. So they just read a lot about cooking. Like they will have a stack of books like packed together like about cooking. Like they will read all different types of fields about cooking, like let's say butchery, pastry, savory, like all different types of fields. And they also do watch a lot of videos about cooking. Like my husband particularly, he just watches videos all the time about cooking, and sometimes, to be honest, it gets really annoying. I have to be honest. But other than that, I just love listening him, because as a partner, like I have to be a good listener, especially if my partner is really passionate about something. I have to be a good listener and also responsive as well, instead of just ignoring. So they don't cook at home that often. This is very interesting fact, because a lot of people think that when you marry a chef husband, that you always have a great food like on your table. No, that is not true. So especially if they work at a restaurant or a hotel, like their life is all about cooking. So like they cook for hundreds and hundreds of people like in one day. So whenever they come home, like they don't want to cook, like especially if they are really tired. And but however, when they cook amazing foods. Let me tell you this, like their food is just so much better than home cooks. Like it is so much better. Like you will experience like something special in their food, because they really do take their time to explain. I mean, oh my God, not explain, but experiment, and also just give a care to their food. This is something special about it. And what's so funny, another fact, is that you will be the one who is going to cook most of the time at home, not them. So now let's see. The next one is kind of weird, but this is truth. You will be eating junk food. Of course, if you are not vegetarian or vegan, if you do eat meat. So you will be eating junk food still, even if you have a chef husband at home. So just keep it in mind. So, and also something that you have to keep in mind is that they do work in a very aggressive and demanding environment. So the chef's world is not easy, like especially working in a kitchen where you just deal with all these orders, all different kinds of people, there's some allergies going on, there's some, like a complaint about food, all these things. And also you have to deal with the big chef, or just all these demanding situations will make them a little bit aggressive, and it will affect them as well. That's why you have to keep it in mind that whenever you have any weird misunderstandings between each other, just always keep it in mind that they don't mean to be aggressive towards you, but it just naturally happens to a person who works in an aggressive environment. So just something to take a note. So another interesting thing is that you may not be able to spend much time with your husband because they always work late and they always work long hours. This is something that you cannot avoid because the restaurants, most of the restaurants are open late nights, and after them finishing their work, they do take care of their place, prepare for the next day. It just takes all time, and then they do usually come very, very late nights, like 11 p.m. or midnight, and sometimes it goes beyond that in even more busier restaurants. Also, they endure themselves very, very often. My husband usually comes home and then he just tells me like, I got another cut and this time it is on this finger. So they burn themselves often. All these kind of injuries happen like very, very quickly. I mean, very frequently. And this is something that you just have to learn to deal with and also get used to it, because this is what they love doing and this is what they are willing to sacrifice, their the comfort of their body, you know what I mean? And also, like, I am sure that every single woman who married to a chef husband, they all say the same thing, and they will absolutely admit that I'm right. So this is, whenever they cook, they always leave a messy kitchen. So like for them, like home cooking is not really like taking care of like the dishes at the same time or just cleaning their space. Home cooking for them is just cooking at the restaurant. It just feels like for them, like it feels like they're cooking at the restaurant, where everything is messy, just the focus is only on the food, And you will be the one usually like, just cleaning all these dishes and cleaning the kitchen, and I'm like, oh my God, messy again. But that's okay. Make sure to not to major in minor things. Also, something that I have noticed about living with a chef husband is that they can be a little bit too perfectionist about food, especially when you go shopping at the grocery store. When you want to buy something, you ask their opinion and they will be, no, this is not good, no, this one has this, no, this one doesn't have this, like all these kind of little annoying, like bothering just facts can be a little bit too much for you, like, I just want to get this can and then use it, on my salad instead of listening a lecture. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, they can be a little bit too perfectionist because of the knowledge that they have about food. But something that I also have to just sneak here, even they are too perfectionist about food, they do also eat junk food. Yes. Their job is very demanding and also very aggressive, just like I mentioned before. So always be patient when living with a person who works in an aggressive environment. So I really think that this is kind of a special topic that I have to mention on this video, because you know, like a lot of people get into arguments because of because of not understanding each other's world or each other's problems or each other's you know, like you just never know what they are dealing with during the day, you know what I mean? Like if you guys work in two different places and like a whole day they just deal with all the aggressive environment, and then you just deal with your own environment, I mean like with your own job, so you don't really know what's going on in their world. So that's why don't be too judgmental, and don't always think that they are enjoying what they're doing, because it can be a little bit too much for them as well. So but other than that, like cooking is not all being aggressive, you know, or just like demanding all these crazy things. Of course, there's a good sides of it as well, because when you love doing something, like those things really do not matter, especially to my husband. Those little things do not matter because he's more focused on his passion, and this is what he wants to do his whole life. So that's why he doesn't pay attention too much for the little things that happen at work. But I think this is just something special, that just try to be understanding, just understand someone's world, like try to put yourself in someone's shoes before judging. You know what I mean? Now I have to mention a positive side of living with a chef husband. I know I'm talking all these little crazy things. It may seem a little bit too much. Negativity, well, I hope it doesn't sound like negative because these are the facts. But anyway, the positive, there are so many positive sides of living with a chef husband. Don't get me wrong here, because living with a chef husband means that you get to experience so many beautiful food experiences. Like, that is unbelievable. I remember myself coming from a different country, you know, like who didn't know anything about food at all. Well, when I say I didn't know anything, I mean I was a home cook. Like this is all I knew about food. You know, like I was really good at what I do, but at a certain point. So I didn't have any knowledge what could be healthy food or what could not be healthy. You know, so that's how I learned from my husband, like which could be a good option for, you know, like eating good. And they can be a really good you know, like a knowledge for you about food. So this is a great side of living with a chef husband. But on the other side, you also get to experience a lot of beautiful restaurants. Like my husband he just loves going out and then eating in a fancy place. He also just makes a lot of research about those places and then takes me out, and we always have a special dinner together. And the foods that I have experienced, oh my God, like they are just incredible. Some of the foods that I have experienced, I have never eaten them before in my whole life, and just blows me away. When we travel, we always must go to a Michelin star restaurant, to like something to somewhere that's really known or famous, you know, about their cooking. So we always have to visit that restaurant, because I do understand that these kind of experiences are very essential for a chef's world, and it will broaden their perspective, and it will deepen their knowledge about food. So this is one of the best things of living with a chef husband, because you get to experience something that you have never experienced before, food-wise. So I think that's all so far. These are the facts that I came up with so far about living with a chef husband. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment below how you like it. Thumbs up this video if you guys want to see more. And I'm gonna see you on my next video. Hopefully you guys are having amazing, wonderful, fantastic day. All right guys, I want to see you on the next one. Bye.